The elevator doors slid open, and Ella Turner stepped out, her cleaning cart rattling behind her. She adjusted her navy blue uniform and tightened the scarf around her hair. As she mopped the hallway outside the CEO's office, Liam Carter stormed out, his polished shoes clicking sharply against the marble floor. He stopped, his eyes narrowing as he looked her up and down. "You missed a spot," he sneered, pointing at the already gleaming floor. "Typical. Can't even clean properly." Ella's jaw tightened, but she said nothing. The other employees nearby exchanged uneasy glances, but no one spoke up. Liam leaned closer, his voice dripping with condescension. "You know, Ella, someone like you should be grateful to even have a job here. You're lucky we don't replace you with someone more competent." Ella's hands gripped the mop handle tighter. She forced a polite smile. "I'll make sure it's spotless, Mr. Carter." He smirked, clearly enjoying the power he held over her. "See that you do. And next time, try to be invisible. People like you ruin the atmosphere around here." The tension in the air was palpable. Ella's calm demeanor masked the storm brewing inside her. Ella Turner had been working as a janitor at Greenwood and Associates for 6 months. To everyone in the office, she was just another invisible cleaner, someone they barely noticed as she emptied trash bins and wiped down windows. But Ella was far more than she appeared. Years ago, she had founded Greenwood and Associates, building it from the ground up into one of San Francisco's most respected consulting firms. After stepping back due to health issues, she handed the reins to her cousin, Luke Turner, who became the CEO. But Ella had always kept a close eye on the company, even if no one knew it. Liam Carter, the current CEO, was everything Ella despised. Arrogant, dismissive, and cruel, he treated everyone beneath him with contempt, especially the janitorial staff. Ella had watched him belittle employees, take credit for their work, and create a toxic environment where fear and favoritism ruled. But today was different. Today, Liam crossed a line. As Ella cleaned the break room, she overheard Liam talking to Monica Hayes, the chief strategy officer. "Honestly, I don't know why we even keep these people around," Liam said, gesturing toward Ella. "They're a waste of space. We could replace them with robots and no one would notice." Monica laughed. "True. They're lucky we even let them in the building." Ella's heart sank. This wasn't just about her anymore. It was about every person Liam had ever looked down on. She knew what she had to do. Ella had always been a fighter. Growing up in a rough neighborhood, she learned early on that success required grit and determination. She worked 3 jobs to put herself through college, studying business and finance. When she founded Greenwood and Associates, she made sure it was a place where hard work was rewarded and everyone was treated with respect. But after her health forced her to step back, the company changed. Under Liam's leadership, the values Ella had instilled were forgotten. Employees were overworked, underpaid, and constantly on edge. The janitorial staff, in particular, bore the brunt of Liam's cruelty. Ella had seen it all. She'd watched Liam yell at a young intern for a minor mistake, reducing her to tears. She'd heard him mock an older janitor for his accent, and she'd endured his snide comments and inappropriate advances herself. But Ella wasn't just a janitor. She was the majority shareholder of Greenwood and Associates. She had the power to change everything. But she needed proof. For months, she'd been gathering evidence. Recordings of Liam's abusive behavior, emails showing his unethical decisions, and testimonies from employees too afraid to speak up. She knew the time was coming to reveal herself. But she had to be careful. Liam was powerful, and he had allies in high places. One evening, as Ella cleaned the executive floor, Liam cornered her in the hallway. "Ella," he said, his voice low and menacing. "I've been thinking. You're too pretty to be stuck cleaning floors. Maybe I could help you move up in the company, if you're willing to cooperate." Ella's stomach churned. She forced herself to stay calm. "I'm happy with my job," Mr. Carter. Liam smirked. "Are you sure? Because if you're not careful, you might not have a job much longer. Ella's eyes narrowed. Is that a threat? It's a promise, Liam said, his tone icy. That was the final straw. Ella knew she couldn't wait any longer. The next morning, Ella arrived at the office early. Instead of her janitor's uniform, she wore a tailored suit, her hair styled neatly. She carried herself with the confidence of someone who belonged in the executive suite. As she walked through the lobby, employees stared in shock. The same people who had ignored her for months now whispered to each other, wondering who she was. Ella made her way to the boardroom where Liam and Monica were preparing for a meeting. They didn't recognize her at first, until she stood at the head of the table. "Good morning," Ella said, her voice calm but firm. Liam frowned. "Who the hell are you? This is a private meeting." Ella Sonrio. "I'm Ella Turner, the founder and majority shareholder of Greenwood and Associates." The room fell silent. Liam's face turned pale. "That's impossible. You're the janitor." "I was the janitor," Ella corrected. "I've been working undercover to see how this company is being run, and what I've found is appalling." She turned to the other executives in the room. "Liam Carter has abused his power, mistreated employees, and created a toxic work environment. Effective immediately, he is fired." Liam's jaw dropped. "You can't do this. I'm the CEO." "Not anymore," Ella said. She nodded to the security guards waiting by the door. They stepped forward and escorted Liam out of the room. Monica tried to protest, but Ella silenced her with a look. "You're next," she said. "Anyone who has contributed to this toxic culture will be held accountable." The news spread quickly. Within hours, the entire company knew what had happened. Employees who had once been afraid to speak up now felt a renewed sense of hope. Ella held a company-wide meeting to address the changes she planned to make. Greenwood and Associates was built on values of respect, integrity, and fairness, she said. "Under my leadership, we will return to those values. No one will be overlooked or mistreated. Everyone's voice matters." The room erupted in applause. For the first time in years, the employees felt seen and valued. Meanwhile, Liam's downfall was swift. The recordings Ella had made went viral on social media, sparking outrage. News outlets picked up the story, and hashtags like #JusticeForElla and #EndWorkplace Toxicity trended worldwide. Liam tried to defend himself, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. He lost his job, his reputation, and the support of his allies. Under Ella's leadership, Greenwood and Associates underwent a transformation. She implemented new policies to ensure fairness and transparency. Employees were encouraged to speak up without fear of retaliation. The janitorial staff, once overlooked, were now treated with the same respect as everyone else. The company's culture shifted from one of fear to one of collaboration and innovation. Profits soared, but more importantly, the employees were happy. Ella's story inspired others. People began sharing their own experiences of workplace discrimination, sparking a nationwide conversation about racism and abuse of power. Ella's journey shows that no one is invisible. Every voice matters, and every action counts. If you see injustice, don't stay silent. Speak up. Stand up. Together, we can create a world where everyone is treated with respect. What would you do if you witnessed racism or abuse? Share your thoughts below. Remember, one voice can make a world of difference.